out of everywhere in Cobb County, Georgia, that a Juneteenth should have been, it should have been right here. It should have been opened up right here to show the slave graves. All them rocks are slave graves. Thanks to the Atlanta Journal and Constitution newspaper. That's who bought that headstone right there and put it on them slaves. AJC. AJC bought that headstone. I can vouch for that. I'm a living witness of that they did it. Yes, AJC did that. I'm going to read the names on it. I just told you about the house she lived in. Celia, all of them's last name are Mabels because they took on the name of Robert Mabel. You could only take on the name of your master. 1824. Grandison. Now, to the Watkins, Grandison was Forrest Lamar Watkins' great granddaddy. Celia was his great grandmother, great granddaddy. Grandison, who was 1826. Celia was the mother of the slaves. Bill, 1835. Barwell, 1836. Esther, 1839. Pops, 1841. To the Felkers and the Wards, my family, the Felkers and the Ward. Fact, Mabel is your descendant. Fact was born February the 15th, 1844. He died or was born, one of those two. I think he died 1844. He died 1844. Curry, April the 3rd, 1845. Theodosia, January the 27th, 1861. And Mary, 1862. Over here, it shows from other sources. Y'all, Felker family? Felkers. Fat Mabel. Sook Mabel. The Matthew Drews, James Cumbert or Gobert. Look like that's a C. Ruby Freeman, Charles Gordon are known to be buried here also. They're also known to be, well, we know Thack and Sook. You all, when I got here to the black and white family reunion, Francis got a newspaper article on it, the Mableton House black and white family reunion. Y'all, we had church down here. We had the tent out here, okay? And we had the seats in the house is where we had the black and white family reunion. White peoples are so shamed, but yet they wanted the amphitheater. Why be shamed? You didn't do it. At least you did make the history come forth. Uh-huh. Mary Lee Anderson. Susan. I know y'all's name. Barbara Hollis. Different ones. That was the Potato House. You think that it's a fairy tale story, but the roof on that house cost $30,000. Do they cost that much to put a roof on a house? That roof was $30,000. That was the house, the big house. When Sherman came through here, they're not fairy tales. They're really story. You all, I learned what a privy is. That's the toilet house. Yes, thanks to Daria Wilson. She's on my Facebook. Daria just died a while back, and that was my friend. When I tell you, if she left me something, I wouldn't know because I didn't go looking for it, because that's not what I was about. Daria was my friend. Daria was Daria worked in a prison, was a professor at a school. Daria had so many degrees it wasn't funny. But let me tell you the story about these white maples. Y'all see that ground right there where the cement is poured? They mint because of these slaves. Let me walk around there. They meant because of these slaves that they weren't going to destroy this land and do away with this cemetery. So they cemented their grave sites. If you go from here over to where Freeman lived at up on Monte Vista white folks, and these are the same people, same bloodline. They had me running everywhere to cemeteries. Cemetery carry a lot of history. This was the living museum. In the big house, that's the big house, the White House right there. Y'all see us standing around here? I'm on there somewhere. I'm in that picture somewhere. I don't know where I am. I can't tell what's what on there. They told me that these slaves didn't have no descendants. I said, that's a lie from hell. Everybody got kinfolks. May not like them, may not want to talk to them, but you got some descendants. Y'all look at them. Y'all look at the kinfolks that came to the black and white family reunion. Y'all look, and they still come now. My sister Miriam was living, and May knew everybody. May knew everybody, y'all. So May pretty much knew our descendants, and May was gonna be here. Mother Goss was here that day when it took place. That was ants on my foot. Oh, I see them right there. Let me get them off of me. Yes. And this is the Bible. A lady all the way from California. Y'all remember me telling you a story about my mama in the Bible? This is the Bible. It's in the Mableton House. I don't know why they got it closed up all the time. You can never go in there. Mm-hmm. Yes. This is a beautiful marker. Y'all, it's true. It's not a lie. It's a real story. It all happened. It all took place. It all took place. Thanks to those white people that's buried over there. The white people that said, you won't forget our slaves. That said, you're not going to forget us. That's them, y'all. That's them. Mableton should have been open today. I know they got to get time to get started, but Cobb County was already started. And we do have this living museum that makes a lot of money down here. Those houses are real. It is not a figment of our imagination. It is not. The history was so real that some of the history had to be sealed for 50 years. Incest took place. White men had babies by black women. That was the sign of the times. It ain't no time to get mad. It ain't no time for you to think, what a shame. You didn't stop it then. It is history. This is what history is. Thank God. Susan, I think her last name was McKnight or Knight. Thank you. Daria, it was called Hands Across Time. That's what it was. That's why when I tell you that I don't want nothing, I'm retired. But I'm not retired. I'm still working 40 hours a week for the sheriff department, thank God. But when I tell you, when Daria explained to me what that cement thing is over there, that was she said that's a well, but it was the privy. I don't even know how you spell it. It really was the toilet. It really was. This is real down here. Now, if there's a real location in Cobb County, that should have been open, this should have been open. This should have been open. The smokehouse is what Sherman and his people came through to when the soldiers was here. The Mabel house is a real house. When they stuck those sticks down in this ground right over here, I was here. And I thought, that's a lie. Ain't nothing in them ground. Ain't nothing buried down in there until I went down to Cox Funeral Home. After Bill Kenny finished with you, you had some knowledge. Because one thing about it, he was going to teach you. So I had to come by here to see our history. Y'all, it is true. Mableton was the motherhood of Cobb County. If you could survive down through Mableton, you could survive anywhere. You could do it. Because this is where the motherhood of Cobb County came through. I worked for Solid Coal right over there at that bank, over the Board of Education. He was on the Board of Education. And when I tell you that they had to get us prepared, Austell, they had to get us prepared. This is how it looked back then. They had to get us prepared. This was from the 1700s. They had to get us prepared to go to Lindley Middle School. They had to get us little black children's minds together. Because J.B. Stoner wasn't about to let us in that school. And y'all, he was running for Congress. The lieutenant governor, not Congress. But he wasn't finna let us into that school. Not that day. And Governor Maddox met him there too. And just reading the history don't make you mad. It makes me understand what I was standing in the middle of. Thank God. Thank God that we wasn't one of those children. Virginia, the first black student to graduate down here. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus, that we wasn't bombed like them 4 little girls was. Thank you, Atlanta Journal and Constitution. Now, they deserve the Nobel Peace Prize Award. That's who deserve it for giving them a proper burial. They bought the headstone and never gave a second word. All I got out of the deal was $250 to show that those black folks had a descendant. That's the only thing that I got out of it. They brought me in. We had a musical right over there on the property. I had to show them. They have descendants. That's why they can't take that cemetery down. That's why they put that fence up. They had descendants. Build your amphitheater, but you can't take them. You can't move their bodies. And right over the hill from here is a lot more of y'all's descendants. Over 150 years. I was over there. Jim, you remember when you called me that day and told me that somebody was going to sue me because they was mad as the devil at me. Oh, yeah. I can remember that day. Oh, yeah. And Justice Robert Benham, the Chief Justice for the Court of Appeals, saved my life. I had to take him that video to show him Freeman talking. It wasn't me talking. It was Freeman that told the story. He lived here. Oh, yes. Y'all, them were the days. Those were the days. I've had some black folks to hate me. I've had some white peoples to hate me. But thank God, it don't really matter. It wasn't my history. Y'all haven't heard me say nothing about Mary Cater was the this and was the that. All I was a liaison. I was just used to get history. Okay? And thank God for that. I didn't mind. But you ain't heard me say nothing about what I earned, what I got. And that's the reason I can't have a house in this area. That's the reason I haven't had a house in this area. Because of the work that I did on all these projects. Let me see, how can I nicely say it? I did a lot of work out of stupidity. Okay? Now, I do say that white peoples wanted the history and they needed a black person to go into the community, to talk to the communities, to talk to the churches. And it just happened to be me. So that's what it was. And then thank God for Dr. Thomas Scott. That's another place you need to visit. Every city ought to have a copy of his books. Those interviews. I think it's about 49 of them. And the Hugh Grogan interviews to tell the story. God bless you. And today is June the 19th. Juneteenth. I got it right that time. And I thank God for it. Ain't an ounce of hate in me. There's no dislike in me. I feel sad sometimes because of the things that I had to go through. But I don't hate. And as I end, it's one thing that I can say. If you read the last story that I just wrote about Dr. Ed Fields, I could follow his story because I know a lot of what he was talking about because I was working on them projects. Again, ignorantly working. I didn't know he was after me. Oh my God. But I thank God for my baby son living today. Thank God for Xenophon Cornelius Cater, Alan Wiley Cater Jr., and Alan Wiley Cater Sr. My family is living today. They didn't get shot down. They didn't die. I'm happy. Tell me I'm happy. And they were black men to carry the name on. God bless you.